Hey everybody, Matt here with Team Kerr over at Remax Real Estate Services. April 2018 stats are out. They just came out hot off the press. Here's the snap stats. I'm also going to include the real estate board stats as well as the pricing benchmark. Lots of info to go over here, but I'm going to hit the top points here. Inventory is increasing and the transactions are stable. It's pretty much the way it is in all places in Vancouver. I'm going to go through it just a little bit through these areas. So downtown Vancouver, 33% increase in the inventory from March into April. So we're looking at a 36% sales to listing ratio, which means that 36% of all listings are selling that have come on the market. Now the low end, like around $500,000 and $600,000 apartments like that, the investors are still out there kicking around. 95% of those are selling, which is telling us still upward pressure on pricing in that lower end like that. And then above that, $600,000 to $700,000, 57% again over a sustained period, it would show upward pressure on pricing. You know, we've been talking about the west side houses have been really quite slow, and there's no change. 11% increase in inventory from March into April. And transactions are holding steady. Just a slight lift in transactions, but the inventory is outpacing it to 11%. 9% sales to listing ratio on the west side. It's a buyer's market on the west side for a house. It's actually some good opportunity there. On the west side, attached market, condos, townhouses, that sort of thing, 38% sales to listing ratio, but a 26% increase in inventory from March into April. And the transactions are essentially the same. 196 transactions in March and 194 in April. We're going to see what happens this month. If that sales to listing ratio is going to change. Now, one quick note here, Mount Pleasant is of course still really strong, as well as Point Grey and the attached. Not a whole lot of inventory, but they are selling when they come on the market there. The east side houses, the detached houses, 13%. Balanced market, soft balanced market though, just flirting with the line of becoming a buyer's market. 18% increase in inventory, and the transactions just up a little bit. 83 in March and then 103 transactions in the houses on the east side in April. Now, the attached side, condos, townhouses, okay, 53% still strong. That's telling us it's an upward pressure on pricing over a sustained period. So 53% of all listings are selling, but a 36% increase in inventory. That means price per square foot actually has dropped in this particular case, 4%. So get this. 340 properties came on the market, to give you some perspective, and only 180 sold. 250 on the month before on the east side attached came on the market, and 187 of them sold. So we're starting to see that gap between the inventory popping and the transactions actually you know, leveling off or even slightly sliding on the east side. Now for North Van, interesting, 20% sales to listing ratio in the houses, 29% increase in inventory. So will we see that change? Hard to say. Transactions are fairly stable. So March is 66 transactions of houses, and then 78. And the inventory in April, and the inventory went from 296 to 381. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. It's a pretty big increase in inventory. And then the attached side in North Van, of course, is still strong. Same old story. Inventory's up, but the transactions are holding steady. 24% increase in transactions, but it's been really tight all along ever since I've been doing these videos. 64% sales to listing ratio, which means that 64% of all the listings are selling pretty good here. Low end in North Vancouver is super hot, like, you know, between $500,000 and $600,000. 137% of those listings are selling. So it's really strong. That means stuff that didn't sell in March sold in April. So really hot, but have a look. If you have any questions, reach out to us here over at Team Kerr. We're happy to help you out. It's been a very interesting year. A lot of things, hard to predict what's going to happen, but we're definitely seeing an increase of inventory. Therefore, there's probably some good buying opportunities there. Are we at the top of the market for the attached units? Hard to say. We're going to have to watch this very closely. Hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.